What's up, beautiful people?
Pico? Beautiful Pico?
The one time I drink wine.
She lit.
The one time I drink wine, I create an alien race. Pico.
Pico.
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Nola Rowe Experience podcast. I am your host, Nola Rowe.
Yes, you are.
And you lit too.
Nah, I'm not
Yes. Lit. So why did you say yes, I am? We know I am.
The energy, I'm just trying to contribute to the conversation.
All right. So what are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
You mean you're the co-host?
Oh.
That's what I mean. Who are you?
I am lit. What's good? Mr. Melee here. Mr. Melee here. Much love and peace. I'm here. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, what's new? What's good? I'm asking you what's new because I want you to say something very specific.
You just want to put all my business out
Not
there
all.
In the street.
Just one thing.
The whole world got to know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I think it's exciting.
Okay. A lot's new. So.
Stop.
Yeah.
The one thing.
A lot of things. Okay, I got engaged.
Oh my gosh.
Got engaged.
Melee is a fiance.
It's so weird to me saying that I got engaged because
you feel like
I didn't get a ring. So did I get engaged? No.
So if you wanted...
I'm engaged.
Melee,
engaged.
If you wanted this to be different from tradition, you could have created that.
You're right.
Because this is the second time you're mentioning this ring thing. And I'm like...
You're right. I feel some type of way. Like, I didn't get a ring.
You can ask for a ring.
No, I'm going to get my ring eventually, right?
The wedding ring.
I don't know how this works. So...
Well, I've never done it. So
you don't know either?
I can't help you. Oh. I know that when mine happens, it's going to be how I want it to happen.
Tradition or no?
It's going to be based on our truths and what's organic and natural to us as opposed to...
So no tradition?
Maybe a
tad of tradition?
Yeah. Okay. With our own thing. Because we're not a conventional couple anyway. Like, we're not very regular. Like, almost everything about us is different.
Well, you see, I don't know because y'all are so like... Yeah, okay. How's it going, guys?
So anyway... congratulations. I'm super, super excited for you.
Thank you.
Like, I'm acting like it's my shit. I'm like...
Thank you.
It's super dope.
It has... things have changed in a good way.
Good.
So...
Good.
I'm glad.
Good. I'm happy. Yeah. So, what are we talking about today?
I'm going to try to go through this without getting angry.
Okay.
But we're talking about, I want to say Tinder swindlers, but...
Scammer them.
Talking about scammer them.
Scammers.
Digital scammers and people who scam people.
Oh, my goodness.
The interwebs.
You know what's interesting?
Crazy. It's a whole thing now. Like, that wasn't a thing before, and now it's a thing.
What wasn't a thing?
Like, scamming people via the internet. Like, it's a new thing that we... Like, people... No?
I wouldn't agree. I would say that from the very first time people started communicating via chat rooms and AIM and stuff like that, people have been lying about who they are and what's going on. So I think people have been getting played from the beginning.
I got you.
And that's why I think initially meeting people on the internet to date them was taboo, because you really don't know who you're talking to. Before pictures and social media and all that stuff became prevalent. So I think people have always been scamming you in some way.
That's true. Because a lot of these, a few of them that we're going to talk about do go back like 10 plus years.
All right, so let's start. Who's what's the first?
You know what? You got in my head. But you know what? I'm going to mention it anyway. I'm going to start because I know I don't have so much about this one. I'm going to start with the social dilemma. And I believe that it's a little bit of a scam the way that our information is sold.
What is the definition of a scam? Should I look it up?
Yeah.
Should I look up the definition of a scam? Because
give you the hood definition.
Because I feel like I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But then scam, a dishonest scheme, a fraud. All right, you got that. You're right. Because I did watch The Social Dilemma, and it's definitely a dishonest scheme.
Yeah. I mean, that one's a little bit tricky because it's not about that, but in that documentary, they show you that people are like taking your information, selling it to other companies, getting you to buy stuff, maybe that you want, maybe that you don't want, but it's still like a scheme to me. Like,
it's absolutely a scheme.
Information.
It's a scheme.
To get you to do things that you might not have necessarily done if they didn't do that.
But I think the wild thing about that documentary is how quickly this stuff happens and you don't know it's happening to you. Yes. You really think that you're choosing what you're watching on the internet.
Oh, the universe sent me this McDonald's.
No. You think you're choosing how you browse, but really you're not. And I thought I was choosing what I was browsing and paying attention to. I'm not.
Yeah.
Somebody created a world and also narratives that target certain people.
Yes. They put you
it's so deep. They put you in a bubble. There's so much going on in the world that we never hear about, never see, don't know it's even existing, because there are people out there who are telling us this is what you're going to know about, this is what you're going to talk about. And the people who are in another country or city or whatever, they have their customized data that they get to tap into. Yes. And I think the part about this that becomes very annoying is when you start to spend money, because that's really what it's about at the end of the day. Yeah. They get you into this mindset where you're now buying shit.
And you know what? I'm definitely going to say that this is a scam because I've gotten scammed like that. I've been in the process, like me working on equipment and stuff like that. I've been in the process of like buying certain equipment, and I'll like Google, okay, what is the best this, that, and the third? And then I'll get advertisements for sites that like sells the equipment that I was looking for at a way cheaper price. I remember this happened to me with a camera. I was going to buy a drone, and I was looking for this drone, and I'm doing my price checks, checking different websites, and then I got an advertisement. Hey, we got this drone for this price, and I'm like, what?
All right,
I just checked the other sites, double.
And there's a little bit of a benefit in that.
What, the price?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
But then.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, but then there's...
I go to buy it.
Uh-huh.
And it never comes.
Excuse me?
Yeah. It never comes.
Okay, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So whatever this site is, then I go check the site is gone.
What are you talking about?
This is a thing. Real things happen like this. Scammers.
Hold on. So
this scammer... scamming, I guess I'm assuming it's a company.
Okay, what ended up
the pictures?
Nah, bro, you need to fast forward to what ended up happening.
That's it. What am I gonna do? I lost my money.
You didn't file a complaint with BBB. You didn't.
The thing is gone. The website is gone.
You know these things are traceable. How much did you pay?
It wasn't that much. It's like $120.
Okay. Well, cameras.
And now, I mean.
Depending on the type of the camera, you probably know damn well.
It was probably my fault too.
Definitely.
Because
at this point,
it was
I'm thinking,
like triple, less than triple the price. So it was like, yo, this is a steal.
That's like
they stealing your money, bro.
Too good to be true.
Too good to be true.
Situation.
But they got me. And that was a couple years ago, but they got me.
Wow.
But what I assume, especially after seeing The Social Dilemma, is that this company bought my information. Mm-hmm. It was like, whatever that price is.
They targeted
so a little
you.
Price. Targeted me.
They
was
found
like, we're
your
going to
IP.
make quadruple the money. Whatever we paid for his info, we're going to make that back tenfold. when he pays us this $120.
Wow.
Got me.
Bro, did you call your bank?
Nah, I already put it in. You know, and it's
You
one of
can
those
call
things
your
like you
bank.
put it in, you wait like
Nah,
all right,
you can
2 weeks.
actually, your bank would retrieve that for you.
Oh,
Or pay you back because it's
didn't know.
insured, FDIC.
I didn't know. This is a
Up
long
to
time ago.
$250,000 or what I don't know how much your bank is, but
Credit though,
yeah, they'll credit
It
you
wasn't a
and
credit
then
card.
investigate it.
which was dumb.
No,
too.
I mean
used my
if it
debit
came
card.
through your debit card, your bank would credit you that money, those funds rather, and investigate it. And if they see like, yeah, this was definitely something, you get to keep it.
Now we know. Okay.
Yeah, but I think the thing about Social Dilemma another thing about it that kind of annoys me is that they target kids from young, and it's like once they get into the mind of a child and it sticks there, they have you for life.
True.
And they grow with you and control you. Listen,
Yeah.
people, if you have not watched The Social Dilemma on
Definitely gotta watch that
Netflix, go watch that documentary. We're not even scratching the surface of the things that are revealed.
Yeah.
You have these executives from these big name companies who are telling you, like, we don't want to be a part of this anymore because this is dangerous. And they're leaving these companies, Google and whatnot. You guys have to tap in.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so that to me that's one of them that's crazy. Super crazy.
I think one of the wildest scammer documentaries I've watched was definitely Fire.
Of course.
Listen,
Yeah.
people, as from this moment moving forward, is going to be a lot of spoilers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But-
Dang, we didn't do that. Spoiler alert.
You
make sure
shouldn't. You should.
Spoiler alert.
No, you should stay for the spoilers anyway. Don't leave.
Yeah, don't stay.
You'll be okay.
Don't leave. Don't stay.
Don't listen to Melee.
Don't.
Stay right here and let us spoil it for you.
Spoil it for you.
But
I mean, if you haven't, we're talking about pretty old ones. If you haven't
you'll
seen
be
it by now,
surprised how
You're right.
much, because again, we talked about people being in a bubble. You never know. People, when I saw the documentary, that was my first time even hearing about the Fire Festival.
too.
I never knew it existed. And apparently it was hands down one of the most popular festivals, even being the first time they did it.
Yeah,
It was super popular. It didn't come across my screen.
true.
But then it was a whole lot of super wealthy people. Maybe that's why. They're probably like, she can't pay this $100,000 ticket.
The algorithm was
We
not
don't
in
need
your
to
favor.
advertise to her ass.
Yeah, she ain't going.
She's not buying this
not going.
$250,000 luxury package.
Yeah.
But Fire Festival, for the people who don't know, Billy McFarlane, who was a very well-known entrepreneur, and Ja Rule partnered and came up with the idea to do this festival that was supposed to happen in the Bahamas, private island. You get to fly there on a private jet. When you get there, you get a luxury villa, catered food by top chefs in the world.
I mean, from the outside, it looked lit.
But let me
Where
tell
was
you,
it? Where was it located?
Bahamas.
The Bahamas. Okay,
It was supposed to be a private, like, deserted island.
that they bought or something.
Right,
like
that he claimed that he bought. He claimed that he bought Pablo Escobar's island.
Wow.
But the actual owner was saying, don't advertise it as that. Do not tell people, don't mention that name, do not mention that name. They mentioned the name in their marketing. And the first time they mentioned it, he was like, oh, you're out. I don't want to work with you. So kicked them off. They had to find another one. And they found another island that was actually attached to the mainland and pretended like it was deserted. They literally photoshopped around the island so it looks like it's in the middle of the ocean. So it looks like you're secluded, which wasn't, it was obviously lying, Photoshop. But
wasn't it deserted? Like it didn't have
it
anything on it.
wasn't deserted. That was Photoshop. And they used like maybe I want to say like 6 to 10 super top models.
Yes.
for advertising, and everybody was like, what? Those girls are going to be there?
I'm going.
This has to be legit.
Yeah.
This has to be something with a lot of sexy women, a lot of beautiful things going on, because these girls are not going to show up for no ghetto.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have all of these rich kids who can afford to pay for $100,000 package, and these people were really doing that. And within 48 hours, the tickets were sold out.
Wow.
Couple million.
And that's the money that he's using to kind of sort of put on the
I don't
charade.
even know what he's using the money for, really,
because they did get some stuff.
They did do some things, but I feel like they were in over their heads.
Oh yeah.
People warned them, though. People kept telling them the infrastructure of this island is not going to hold up. There's no electricity. There's no plumbing. There's no Wi-Fi. There's no this. Like, you literally have to build all of this stuff from scratch.
Wow.
And they had 6 weeks to do that.
Wow.
It was a 6-week deadline, and time was running out. It wasn't happening. People were nervous. At one point, I think this was hands down the wildest part of the story. Customs was charging a fee. Obviously, when you bring things in, they'll, hit you up with a little fee or whatever. It's, I believe, 2 to 3 18-wheelers full of water.
Wow.
And they had to pay over $100K to get the water cleared.
Wow.
It's an import fee.
Yeah.
So they didn't have the funds to pay it. So the gay guy who was like the planner or top of the food chain in the coordination of this festival, Billy, asked him to go to the head of customs and suck his dick.
Oh, yes. I remember that part. Yes, I remember that part. He was going to do it too, right?
My guy said, I went, I took a shower. He said I drank mouthwash. And he was like, I wanted to save the festival. Because remember, this is hands down one of the biggest.
Yeah.
And he was like, I went to that customs guy ready
to
do it.
I said I wasn't going to get mad during this, right?
He said he went there to do it. And the guy was really nice. And the guy was like, nah, you don't do that. Go ahead, have your festival. I'm going to let you release the water. I'm going to even let you serve the water. But I need to be the first person that you pay once you make your money. But the thing about Billy McFarland is he's a genius entrepreneur. Like, he knows how to raise money. So he came up with 1,000 ways on how to raise money. Like, when you get to the island, you're going to have a wristband. You have to pay for that wristband, and you can keep loading it with funds, and they'll just scan it. You scan it at the bar. You scan it to do this. You scan it to do that, and all these different things. Right. And people were with it. These kids have money, you know, but the festival never happened. And people spent millions. Like,
wow.
The amount of lawsuits, the amount of... He went to jail for 6 years.
What?
He got sentenced to 6 years. Well, I can't say he spent 6 years. I know he was sentenced to 6 years, but Ja Rule wasn't...
He was supposed to be the face of it.
He was a partner, but I think the part that was kind of not too cute was when all of this happened and they had a debrief, maybe a few days or a week later. He's on the phone saying, let's just be positive. We can bounce back. Nobody got hurt. And everybody's on the line like...
He don't know nothing. Man.
Nobody got hurt, bro.
These artists, they don't know nothing. It's just like when you're doing a performance or you're on a tour, you just show up. You don't plan like people put so much pressure on the artist thinking that they plan their music video.
Yeah.
They don't do none of that.
Yeah.
They don't do none of. They just show up and they get in costume and they just do whatever.
He seemed pretty involved, but not as involved as Billy and some of the other people. But a lot of people were against it because after a while it stopped making sense, but Billy just kept saying, let's be optimistic, let's focus on solutions, let's all this stuff. And
it was just
you have to
doomed.
watch the doc, because again, we're talking,
I've seen it.
I'm talking to the audience, like
yeah.
we're talking about it, but we're not even scratching the surface.
The amount of little things that happen. Like I remember when they were talking about they were supposed to get like 5-star Michelin meals, and then they got sandwiches.
Not only did they not no damn sandwiches. You got to be specific.
Bread,
cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, cheese sandwiches.
The first photo of the food that was posted on Twitter.
That's what made it go down.
Right.
Yes.
The sandwich wasn't even intact. The bread, the cheese was all slapped.
Yeah.
There was a piece of wrinkled looking salad in there.
Crazy.
There was a storm that came the night before everybody was supposed to arrive. It was a hot mess, man.
I remember that.
It was a hot mess. And I didn't even know about this thing until I saw the documentary. But the whole point of this conversation is so people can be aware.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily promoting these next Netflix or whatever shows. It's more about people are out there scamming you, and they're intelligent and they are clever
and evil.
And even when the whole thing fell apart, he went to jail for a hot second, came back out. Billy McFarland.
He was trying to do it again.
He started scamming people again.
I remember that.
Eventually,
Fire 2 or something like that. Like he was Fire 2.0.
He was telling people you can get VIP tickets to go see all of these things, and those tickets didn't exist, but people were paying for them.
The audacity.
Listen, here's the thing. A judge ruled that he cannot be a CEO, COO, nothing of any, but that doesn't stop a person from, he's smart enough to figure out how to do this again. We're going to hear about, because certain people do not believe in having jobs and working.
Yes.
That guy ain't going to have
the privilege?
No.
Oh my goodness.
What's the privilege? Next scammer? What's the next scammer? I'm tired of talking about Billy. Oh my goodness.
Man, I've seen this one. This is the most recent one that I've seen. I've seen this one last week. But the Tinder swindler.
Oh my God.
The Tinder swindler was crazy. Like it is really crazy.
So triggering.
Very triggering. Very, very triggering. So this guy, I forgot his name. Simon. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. It was something crazy. Jewish or something like that. But this guy, Simon, he met these girls on Tinder. He starts talking to them, getting to know them. They fall in love with him. One of them was just a friend.
Simon Lviv.
Simon Lviv.
And was that even his name?
No, it wasn't even his name. His real name is something even crazier to pronounce. I don't even, something else. So this guy goes on Tinder, picks up these girls, starts chatting with them, makes them fall in love. They get in a relationship, and then he pulls off this elaborate scheme to make them think that he is in trouble.
Yo, I'm sorry.
He sends them this photo of his bodyguard. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't go into detail, and like we said, spoiler alert, right? So before, when he's whining and dining these girls, he's taking them on 5-star restaurants. He's taking them on private jet flights. He's taking them to the best clubs, riding in the most fancy cars. Around the world. Trips and all. He's paying for everything for like a month or a couple weeks. Then he sends this photo. He's in trouble. His bodyguard got beat up, this and that and the third. He asked them for money.
Because he can't access his own accounts.
He can't access his own accounts.
Yeah, because they're going to find him.
His enemies are looking for him. They shut down his accounts, blah, blah, blah. These women, being the wonderful women they are, wonderful, kind-hearted women they are, start sending this dude money. And I mean, listen, if you guys haven't seen this, I'm not talking about $100. I'm not talking about $200. I'm not talking about $300. I'm not talking about $1,000.
Melee, what about the girl who
Took out a loan?
She ran out of money and she kept taking out loans for him.
Loans after loans after loans after loans. These women are spending hundreds of thousands, $500,000, $250,000.
I can't imagine that dick being that good.
Come on, it can't be.
I can't imagine it because I looked at him. I was like, I don't know. I'm a good judge.
But, I understand because it's like, it's a real, to the guy's credit, it's a real good scheme. If somebody's wine and dining you for a month and you like, yo, this dude got money. He lied about his job. He lied about all this stuff. You really believe it? Yeah, he thinks he said he's in this diamond family.
Yeah,
and all of that.
Yeah,
you would really think like, nah, I was in the car.
And you can actually Google the family's name.
Yes, and he used their exact last name and all of that. So you would just really believe it. Like the flights ain't fake. The plane ain't fake.
And he also, didn't he purchase a home for one of the girls? Well, it wasn't an actual purchase.
Yes.
But
he sent them looking for homes. Like they would be looking for homes and stuff like that.
Goodness.
And he ended up taking all this money from these girls and not paying them back. And I thought the craziest part is that obviously he had to start with one girl. And he did this too. But his whole scheme is that he's using the money from different girls to please the other girls.
That's a Ponzi scheme.
Crazy.
That's like how a Ponzi scheme works. Like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yes.
But he met the right one.
He had to met the right one.
That one girl was like,
that first girl is her fault. No, I'm kidding. No, that first girl had to put him on this track.
But the first girl, that's the first girl we know about. He was already doing this before.
No, I'm just saying the girl that we don't know.
He was doing all types of different scams, and then he realized making women fall in love might be a good one. But I love how that one girl got him back.
Got him, yeah.
She took all his stuff.
Yeah, she basically did the same thing he did. Lied to him, said she's in love with him, told him to listen, we're in trouble, send me all your clothes. Because she said the realest thing about him was his clothes.
Yes.
All his clothes were legit. Yes. Armani,
Fendi,
Versace, all of that.
Listen, y'all go watch this documentary and make sure you hit us up and let us know what you think.
For sure.
Hit us up on Instagram, chime in about it.
Yeah.
What about Inventing Anna? Did you watch that one?
I started it. I didn't get to finish it.
This is another white person who...
Thank God we're going on to women now.
Because I feel like no black person is walking into a bank and selling them this story saying, hey, I'm a Nigerian princess. Well, you can't even use Nigerian. Like that one that Nigerian prince thing got killed.
Yeah. People been died.
So that wasn't a good one. But you can't claim any nation in Africa and say, I'm due to inherit some type of crazy money. In the meantime, can I borrow?
I've gotten
it's
those
not
emails.
Happening.
I've gotten those emails. I have.
It's scamming is real out here. Real. But this girl was able to fool everybody and tap into New York's so-called elites and get them to buy into this lie that she is German and she comes from this super wealthy family and
true story?
Yes.
It's a true story?
It's a true story. She's actually Russian.
I did not know
her real name
that.
Is Anna though.
Her real name is Anna.
I'm going to tell you her real name.
Because I know that it's an actress in the actual thing. Right. It's an actress and they're doing
That's the girl from Ozark.
Ozark, yeah.
But Anna was actually... showing up to court because she ended up getting caught, right?
As they all do.
Right.
So, I mean, this is
lot
the
of them
only the
get
ones
caught.
that we know.
But when she was going to court, she was actually very focused on how she would appear in the press, in the media. She had to look a certain way all the time, like fashion. That was her thing. And she ended up because her thing wasn't just to live this luxurious, wealthy lifestyle. It was also to appear a certain way. She wanted to be famous. She wanted to be known.
She wanted everybody to know her as
right.
that.
So that was another thing that,
So what did she end up doing? It
was reported that she was deported. She obviously was incarcerated. When she got released in 2019, ICE picked her up. Oh. They detained her, and it's rumored or reported that they deported her to Russia.
Okay.
They even tracked down her real parents and interviewed them, and they're like, "What?
Really?
Look at where we live. We're not no wealthy."
So she was just a poor girl. She's like, I'm going to grind it out and get to the top.
I can go and pretend to be wealthy. And she pretended so well. You're watching this documentary, the amount of times her cards are declined.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
In these lobbies and hotels and restaurants and different places making a big fuss. Like,
did they have a documentary about it?
Inventing Anna.
But that wasn't a documentary.
It was.
I didn't see the documentary. I saw the acting thing. The one where the girl from Ozark
That
acted.
is a documentary. It's like a limited series. I guess I called it a documentary. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's
not a documentary because it's not real. It's a script.
I guess that makes sense. Right. Yeah. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But it's limited and wild ass story.
Crazy.
Wild ass story.
Crazy. That one's wild.
People be aware.
So to me, is this the wildest one? I mean, all these white people, it's crazy, man. But this is the wildest one because this was like going on to murders and stuff, like almost getting to the point where people might have been murdered.
Okay, which one?
So this is the most hated man in America. I mean, America? Yes.
On the internet.
On the internet. The most hated man on the internet.
Oh.
Hunter Moore.
Hunter Moore was... Okay, so you tell the story, because this is your pick, but I saw it too.
Yes.
And I was just like...
So this guy started... he started a website, and you can correct me, because I might be fuzzy on this. So he started... taking people's photos. He started this website. It was isanyoneup.com. So he started this website, and it was for people who wanted to get revenge on their exes.
Right.
So they would take photos.
Revenge porn. Send
pictures and videos of their exes and say, "Hi, my stupid ex, she cheated on me." The most hated man on the internet.
Yeah.
Hunter Moore. He started with revenge porn. People who hated their exes.
He created a website.
People who hated their exes would upload their images or videos to this website. And, it would be like a revenge porn thing. You would make fun of the exes, blah, 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 this and that and the third. It began to evolve into something different when some of the people who ended up on the website didn't send their photos to people. So
you're saying that there's one girl in particular. Her photo ended up naked photo.
Yes.
And she was like, I didn't give this to anyone at all. I didn't share it with a boyfriend. I didn't share it with a hookup. How did they get it? Right. So it's not like she shared it with an ex and the ex got revenge.
Yeah, and then she can say, my stupid mistake,
Right.
Photos that she kept in the privacy of herself within her emails. And I guess that was
and again, running into people who don't play that. Because her mom...
Oh, my goodness.
Her mom was relentless. I think her mom spent 3 to 4 years gunning for this guy.
Yes. So that's when it took a turn.
Disgusting... way of like that dude didn't have feelings.
Oh yeah.
No empathy.
Sociopath. Had to
Absolutely.
be maybe
Absolutely.
even borderline psycho. Crazy.
It doesn't
Like,
even
he's-
matter what he's labeled as.
Yeah.
because-
Like he's carelessly just basically ruining these people's lives. He's taking their content that they didn't share with other people. Now, as we know, was hacking, doing like a hacking scheme where they would take your Facebook or was it MySpace? MySpace information.
They hack into your email.
How would they hack into your email?
That's what they were doing. They
would send you a message.
They were hacking into people's emails, capturing their info. Because this was the time when people weren't really texting these photos. It was more an email
Everything
type
emails.
of right. So they would steal your email, and then when they put it on the website, they share your Facebook, they share your social media.
Yes.
So people know where to find you and they can harass you directly.
Yes. So that's what started happening. People were getting super harassed, death threats, and even like get their jobs taken away. Their schools would drop them, all these crazy things. And this dude was going relentless, just
but the
different
concept
people.
Each post was for them to drag you.
Yes.
Like they'll post your picture and say, what's the meanest thing you can say about this photo or something like that.
And it's like, why do you need to add that part? I mean, the whole thing is
because the
wrong.
people wanted to do that. People were so thirsty to comment and say the nasty, like everybody's in pain.
Yeah.
All these people are hurting and it feels really good to inflict pain on somebody else for a change.
Yeah.
And he could not have done it without that huge following.
Yeah.
Women
Which is
were
crazy.
lining up around the corner to get a chance to sleep with this guy.
Yeah.
Literally. Women were flying.
And dudes were like hailing him like a freaking king.
Yes.
Like saying that they're going to attack people and kill people for him. They created the family.
Yes. Even they called it the family. The girl whose mom was relentless in making sure she got this dude. They were threatening to kill her.
Phone
And I was
calls and
like,
stuff. Yeah, so it got crazy to the point that people. I remember that one guy who was like a Marine or something like that, and he tricked him into getting his domain.
right.
And once he got his domain, he shut the website down.
He was really against bullies.
Yes.
And especially internet bullies and stuff like that. So he was able to scam him.
Shut his website down. And then he was talking about coming back even harder.
He tried to come back with the second one, but the second one involved sending your actual home address. Instead of your social media link, he would post your home address. And he knew that when he said certain things to incite certain actions, people would do it. And he started saying things like, it would be really great if somebody got killed. Like murder would be the ultimate clout at this point.
Who concocts? First of all, somebody who even says something like that should just be automatically put in prison and locked away for
it was hard.
God knows how long.
It was hard to get him down, and when they finally did, because remember the FBI kind of they want their cases to be airtight before they actually took real action.
Yes,
that was a feet dragging situation, and when it finally happened, they banned him from doing mad shit. Like he can't go on the internet and do nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
but nah, he should have been arrested for that, because the type of person who even thinks like that, like, yo, I'm gonna post your address so people can go and kill you. That person should not be a part of our society.
Yeah,
like that just can't. That shouldn't be.
So you don't believe in rehabilitation?
I mean, he need to be locked up.
Yeah,
you need to be rehabilitated in prison.
And he became very famous. He was on CNN. He was on all of these different shows being interviewed. And we also have to hold those people accountable.
True.
These network executives
they make it bigger.
Who you bring this person on to seemingly, shed light on this bad thing, but it's also clout for you.
Very true.
And
they know that.
That publicity also helped in making people aware. Like,
that's true.
Listen, people are out here
scamming.
But the last one.
Okay, last one. We could do this forever, right?
Yo, because right now, as we speak, there's somebody out there concocting
Yeah.
a scam.
Yeah.
And they do this all day, every day. Like, this is what they wake up, eat, breathe,
Word.
and shit do. Scamming all day.
Yeah.
The girlfriend that didn't exist.
This one I don't have so you're gonna have to
Melee.
fully fill me in on this one.
Manti Te'o.
Oh, I heard about it. Okay.
Football player.
Yes.
Very promising. Super talented. He is of the Mormon religion. So he's very tight in how he operates on a daily. And even his parents were saying that anybody who's in his life, they know that he's not going to give you a whole lot of attention because he's so disciplined and he's super focused on football. Anyway, he gets this message on Facebook from this girl named Lene, and beautiful. They started talking, texting back and forth. He forwarded her photo to somebody else saying, hey, do you know this girl? Because, he's double checking. They're like, yeah, I know her. She's cool.
Whoa.
And they ended up having this internet relationship. He doesn't meet her in person. Long story short, it's a catfish. Lene, it's really a guy named Renaya. It's really a dude who's on the other side. But this was a time when catfishing wasn't really a popular
thing, yeah.
People didn't really know it was happening. There was no term for it and all of that.
The actual Catfish show didn't come out yet.
Right. And again, he was the perfect target because he was so focused. He didn't have time to be,
Yeah.
And listen, this guy became a star. He was, he went to college. He went to Notre Dame and ended up being closer to where Lene was, because before he was on Hawaii, they had that 5-hour flight time. So that was also like a challenge for them. That's another thing but they were talking for 3 years.
Whoa.
And every time he would say like, let me see you, or let me this, or let me that. Excuses after excuse. And he fell for it for too long. And I think that's why a lot of people are like, bro, we don't believe you. Because that happened to you for way too long.
I think you're missing a part, right? Or are you going to get to it?
What part am I missing?
Didn't she die or something like that?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Because once he moved to the the main part of the United States and got closer, he's like, hey, I'm here now. We can link up. So now he gets a phone call from her brother, which is actually the dude who's catfishing, right? Renaya.
The actual guy calls him.
Pretending to be her brother. She was in a car accident. She's dying. And I think the sickest part was putting the phone to her mouth on her deathbed and just breathing heavy. So Manta...
No, he didn't do that. He didn't do that.
Yes. So Manta was like, I'm on the other line and all I'm hearing is breathing because she can't talk. She's half dead from this really bad car accident. That stay in the hospital revealed that she had cancer. Like, it just got so wild. Melee, eventually, the story broke. People started, like, coming up with all of these stories saying that we think he knew about it. He was a part of this. He had to have been a part of it.
Why? Why would somebody
Because people just didn't believe that it's possible that he could
be
get
that silly,
that gullible, right?
Yeah.
And also, they started saying that maybe he knew and he's gay and he just made up this whole story to hide the fact. But he ended up not being drafted the way his family expected, because this guy worked so hard. We all thought he was going to be like top 3.
Yeah.
For the NFL. He was like 33 or some wild number like that, and ended up losing out on millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars.
And obviously this had something to do with it.
Because the scandal came out and
it was negative at first.
The gay thing got plastered on him, and that really played
is
against him big
crazy.
time. And people thought he was a part of it. Like, this is the part that's super important. He lost his grandmother. And what made his career blow up as a college football player is the same day his grandmother died is the same day Lene died. Her brother called and said
he
she
had
died.
the sympathy thing going.
So
for
the
him.
whole world was like, oh,
Rally behind
he lost
him.
his grandmother, he lost his girlfriend, we love him. But then we find out the girl never existed. That played against him big time. So he lost out on endorsements, deals,
which is stupid.
all of those things. And because once the media was done with him, you know how the media is. They can break you, build you,
and
drag
just throw you
you,
to the side,
break you, chew you,
yeah, spit you,
eat you.
yeah.
And that was it.
Damn, I feel bad for him.
So
I hope he's
this
doing well.
scamming was a catfishing scam. Like,
Yeah,
be aware, people.
that's man.
Be aware.
People are just wrong, man. Just wrong. I think we definitely need to take a breather after that.
Yes. All right, beautiful people. So we're going to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
All right, so we're about to jump
the way
into...
Q&A?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's jump into segment 2.
Okay, let's do it.
And SOA.
Oh, yeah,
This
I
is
think you have second thoughts.
I did, but I'm like, I'm always doing that.
Okay.
SOA,
Q&A.
a.k.a.
Adrenaline questions.
of the day.
Hey!
What was the craziest scam I've seen happen to someone I know? It has to be, the craziest scam I've seen has to be, well, I didn't see it. I heard about it. A woman I know came out of a bank and a couple, man and woman, convinced her to go back into the bank and empty her account and give them all her money. I don't know what they told her, but she was convinced and she gave them all of her money.
All her money? Oh my God.
And she got in a car with them.
Wow.
Yeah. I ain't calling no
Whose
names.
fault is that?
I don't know what they told her. And they target older people. They target older people. It's an older woman.
Yes.
So
Happens a lot.
something there is vulnerable.
Yes,
And
yes.
Yeah.
Would I rather be scammed out of my house or out of my bank account? Oh, that's a good one.
That seems very easy to me.
Nah, you know what? That one's easy. Yeah. Definitely bank account. Bank account. Because I can get that money back. I can't get the house back as easy. I can
Right.
get the house back, but not as easy. So yeah, definitely the bank account.
Yeah.
Definitely the bank account for sure.
What was my go-to lie to get out of trouble as a kid? I never got into trouble as a kid.
Never?
Nah, I wasn't that type of kid. And when I did do things that were troubling, I never got caught. Ever.
So you was that kid because you were so good.
Yep.
You just got away with
Yep.
everything. Me too.
And that's smart. Hey! It's too late now, y'all. Don't even try it.
That's a fact.
Don't bring nothing up.
If I could get $5 million in PPP loans, undetected, what would I do with it? I will put a million into the S&P 500. I would put $1 million, maybe a little more than $1 million, into a crib, paid off in full. And then maybe I just I'll invest the rest. Like all I need is the crib and invest. Yeah. I just need the crib and then invest the rest. Yeah, invest the rest. Make that double, triple, quadruple, all of that. Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot to say about these scammers, I guess.
Oh my goodness, people. Keep your eyes open. Pay attention. If it's weird, if it's off.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm not going to go about
And I think
another one.
I think some people are uncomfortable putting up boundaries and saying, yo, I don't trust this.
Yeah,
If you're uncomfortable saying you don't trust it, just ghost them.
for sure.
Period.
There's so many things to watch out for. Cash App scams. I got scammed on my Cash App.
Instagram
scams. Instagram verification scams is heavy right now.
That happened to me. I lost my account for 2 days.
Yeah, people trying to tell you, yeah, well, I could get you verified and pay this amount. No.
That wasn't, not that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it wasn't that. But
Yeah.
Facebook.
Watch out. Scams. They out here.
Pay
Scammers.
attention, people. Pay attention. Stop
Credit
clicking
cards,
those
scams.
weird links.
Be careful.
Anyway.
All right, y'all.
Yeah. We have a fly. We opened the window and a fly is
it's a
just
fly.
threatening our lives in here.
Yeah, he got beef.
That was such a beautiful episode because we got to release a lot of triggers.
Did we? I don't know.
No, I was mad at that damn Tindler's.
Me too. All of them. Hate them.
Anyway, beautiful
All right, guys.
people. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yep.
Make sure you come back. If you know people who like podcasts, make sure you recommend the Nola Row Experience. Let them know. And
Gratitude.
yeah, gratitude.
Thank you. Much love. Peace.
Bye.